Am I the a-hole for being upset with my sister for wanting to skip my wedding because of her miscarriage? I, female 28, am getting married next week. Invitations are out, wedding planning was complete, and everything is going according to plan. However, my sister, female 31, just had a miscarriage, and mom told me that she told her she decided not to come to the wedding. I was dumbfounded, so I called my sister to talk about it, and she said she is exhausted and doesn't feel like attending. I told her that this is my wedding, not some family dinner she and her husband decided to skip. She apologized, hoping that I'd understand, but I said that I don't, because I really don't understand. What does her miscarriage has to do with being at my wedding? It's not like she gave birth and needed to stay with a baby. She must have had me on speaker because her husband heard and started scolding me about how this is a traumatic experience that my sister just went through, and said that I was insensitive to talk to her like that. I asked him to stay out of it, but he started arguing, telling me to respect my sister's wish and respect that they're grieving. I insisted to let me talk to her, but he said we were done talking. I ended up losing my temper with him, and he told me F you and your wedding, then hung up. My fiancé was in the room and heard him say that. He wanted to uninvite him and my sister over this instantly, but I didn't let him. I called mom and she promised to speak to my sister and convinced her to come. My dad called me later on and started berating me about harassing my sister and told me to leave her alone. I asked him if my brother-in-law told him about our fight, but he got defensive and told me to get off both my sisters and her husband's back and drop it. I told him how upset and hurt I was that my sister decided to skip my wedding, and how little she thought of it. He replied that my sister has a valid reason and I was coming across and feeling and selfish not to see that, and lash out over her missing a party. This is not a party. That's my wedding. It matters to me. I was there for hers. Why can't she do the same and show up for a few hours? Dad said he won't tell me again to leave my sister alone. It urged me to stop bringing it up and gang up with mom to get my sister to go. But I wasn't doing that. Long story short, tension has been taking over since then. Mom thinks that a calm discussion will do, but I feel like my feelings are ignored and misunderstood, especially for my sister. Edited to add, I love my sister. I get her struggle, but I wanted her there because I care about her. Now for the top comments. You're the a-hole. You have no idea what it's like to be carrying life and hope inside your body, then to lose all that to forces outside of your control. People need time to collect their composure and grieve. The world doesn't revolve around you, and you're certainly not a person worth gravitating towards. F your wedding. This 100%. I can't believe she said it's not like you have a baby to stay home and take care of. Just wow. Yes, that was pouring salt in an open, gaping wound. Your baby's dead, so you're free, right? What's the big deal? You're the a-hole for having this attitude. I know those weren't your words, but it's an accurate paraphrase. You could easily have said, I understand that you are hurting right now, but I would really appreciate it if you would still come to the ceremony. You don't even have to stay for the reception, but it would mean a lot to me to have you there. But if the answer is still no, then you're the a-hole for not taking no for an answer. You're the a-hole. It's not like she gave birth and needed to stay with the baby. I refuse to believe you could actually type those words out and somehow still convince yourself you're not a-hole here. Believe it or not, nobody owes you their presence at your wedding, for any reason. The loss of an entire future they'd already started making plans for and investing enormous amounts of emotional capital in is ample cause to say, sorry, we're not up for celebrating right now. Which is really not a thing you would think a human being with a functioning heart or brain would need explained to them. So unless you're gunning for Bridezilla of the decade, which honestly seems like it might be the goal, quit digging and go apologize. Like yesterday. I really hope she didn't say that to her sister. Bad enough to write it here, but if it was said, I would have flipped my crap. You're the a-hole. Miscarriage isn't just a day and it's done. Depending on the age of the pregnancy, she may still be bleeding, may have follow-up doctor's appointments, could require a D&C if the miscarriage is incomplete. It may have been or still be a physically painful process. And that is all without touching on the emotional aspects of a miscarriage. If she is not up to the wedding, then she's not up to it. She is having a stressful medical incident, and that is probably compounded by grief. I feel like my feelings are ignored and misunderstood, especially for my sister. This is ironic, since you have completely failed to empathize with her. If you can't attempt to understand her situation, then best thing would be for you to let it go and not talk with her. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving my brother my mother's engagement ring even though I agreed in the past? Me, 21 female, and my brother, 25 male, have agreed that my mom's engagement ring, 6 women in my family wore it, would be mine until he finds a girl he really wants to propose to. I agreed. Now, he has a girlfriend of 5 years and told me that he is planning to propose and would like the ring back. I immediately told no. And that's because as much as girl likes jewelry, she also likes to lose it. The amount of jewelry she lost is outstanding. I remember getting her very pretty earrings that I made myself, and she lost it like after 2 days. Of course, he got angry. So I told him that if he wants her to have that ring, he needs to give her now a random ring. And if she doesn't lose it until he proposes, he has a specific day planned. I will give it to him. He was annoyed but agreed. And well, guess what? She lost it. To be honest, I don't know how she does it. Well, I decided not to give the ring because it's a very important thing for my family, and said that if he wants to propose, he can buy another ring. I am not letting her lose it. When she finds out, she was also furious because apparently she loved the ring. She promised to keep it saved because she knows how important it is to us. I told her that I will just keep it as my wedding ring if I ever get married. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb for not giving her a chance. Edit. She knew about the don't lose this first ring and then you will get the heirloom. Not stay home. I think that's a pretty valid concern and reason to not want to lose a family heirloom. Yes, OP's concerns are valid, but brother wasn't an a-hole for being pissed. The agreement was that he would eventually get the ring for his girlfriend, so OP is pulling the rug out from under him last minute. Even a girlfriend, not an A, as she was obviously promised this ring by both OP and her boyfriend, and being careless with meaningless costume jewelry doesn't necessarily mean that girlfriend will be careless with a meaningful treasure. There isn't really a good solution, and OP should probably just keep the ring to be on the safe side, but no a-holes here. This kind of happened in my family. My sister didn't get the heirloom ring and I did. There's some lingering resentment, but my sister is on her 4th engagement ring currently and I'm right now wearing the heirloom one. It makes sense for everyone to feel the way they did. Make a replica and gave it to her. Then if it gets lost again, you're not out much. I don't like this idea at all. Lying will only cause more problems down the road. They might find out if they ever take it to a reputable jeweler for whatever reason. Example, cleaning, resizing, appraisal. Adobe will be seen as a huge a-hole. Honesty is the best route, and telling them the truth that she is too irresponsible is the best course of action. Not stay home. She loses nothing. Are y'all sure she doesn't sell it? I don't think so. It's not that expensive, to be honest, especially the ones I made myself. And why would she sell the one she bought herself? I think it's more that she loses stuff she doesn't like. I thought the same about the earrings, but she knew the fake ring was a gateway to the heirloom. Unless plot twist, she hates the heirloom as an engagement ring but doesn't want to tell the brother and pretends to be upset. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for hiding my fiancé's ring so she had to wear the one I bought her to see her parents? My fiancé comes from a very wealthy family. She was spoiled growing up as she was the youngest and only girl. Her dad is Persian, and according to her, their culture is very big on displays of wealth and money and jewelry. She has tons of expensive jewelry from her dad and uncles, and lives a pretty lavish life. I am not doing bad, but I'm not rich. I'm currently working as a very low-level developer with a computer company, and I don't quite make software developer money yet. When I proposed to my fiancé, I had to get a ring that wasn't very lavish. Like the ring she's got as a 13-year-old girl for her birthday are better looking. I thought that shouldn't matter as much though, as the ring is the least important part of the engagement. I'm also planning to get her a much better ring when I can afford it. So she accepted, but unbeknownst to me, she hadn't been wearing it, especially around her family. She keeps an engagement ring in her car that she got herself, takes off the ring I got and wears the other ring out. I found this out on a day I had to borrow her car. I put my wallet in a console while going into the gym and saw a ring box. I know I probably shouldn't have opened it, but I did. I was able to recognize it as an engagement ring, and when I got back home, I confronted her. She said that she prefers to wear that one around family because they already are suspicious about me since I'm not rich, and she wanted to protect me from any judgment. She said that if anyone from her family saw the ring I got, they'd think I wouldn't be good enough for her. I told her I didn't care, and it made me feel bad that she didn't wear my ring. She said that she would start wearing the ring out. Come last weekend, we have a dinner. She says she has to wear the ring when we see them for my sake. I again told her I didn't care what they thought of me. We argued, and she said that she was wearing the ring and that was final. So while she was in the shower, I went down to her car, swapped the rings. I drove her car to her parents' house, and she looked in her console and it was my ring. We got into an argument before she finally put it on and we went inside. The night went kinda bad. Her dad grilled us about the new ring, and he said that I should have bought her a better one and laid it into me about it. Her female relatives told her that she might need to reconsider the wedding since I cannot provide. We got into a huge argument when we got home, and she told me that I ruined my reputation in their eyes now. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. I'm going to go with you're the a-hole. Your fiancé isn't materialistic. If she was, she wouldn't be marrying you knowing that you are early in your career and financially not as secure as she is used to. She got the second ring because she was trying to protect you from her family's disapproval. Your own ego wouldn't let that go. Yes, she's trying to save face so her family doesn't disapprove. Why enter the family off on the wrong foot? Is your goal for her family to dislike you? Not saying it's valid, and have her need to defend you all the time? Why make life difficult over a ring? She already said yes and is aware of your financial situation. Are you trying to force her to cut off her family because they'll be talking crap about you? What's your end goal for this? You're the a-hole. She knows her family and wanted to avoid a scene you forced her into. You're planning to buy her a much better ring when you can't afford it anyway, you said. So why are you so hurt by this? Now she really will have to reevaluate marrying you. Also, he may not care what her family thinks of him, but she's going to get the brunt of it, not him. She's going to be the one told he's not good enough. She definitely should have expressed this issue to him beforehand, but as long as she's only swapping the ring in front of the family, I get where she's coming from. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for making my mother-in-law cry? I, 26 female, and my husband, 26 male, have been together for 8 years and married for 1. We have 2 kids together and just bought a house. My mother-in-law came by to visit the other day when my husband was at work, and my youngest child, 4, was having a full-blown meltdown. My youngest son has mild autism and severe ADHD, and my mother-in-law knows this. Well, my older child, 8, lets her in, and I'm dealing with a toddler in a separate room to calm him down. My mother-in-law comes to me and sits down and starts talking. Well, I get my toddler to calm down, and she looks at me and goes, "It's a good thing you came to your senses and decided not to have any more of those." Now this instantly angered me because I had a lot of complications with my second pregnancy, and I was put under a lot of stress during this pregnancy by my husband's family because they didn't want me to be pregnant. I had my older son at 17 and he was not biologically my husband's. However, my husband has been around and raised him since he was born because his bio dad disappeared. My youngest son was supposed to be a twin, but I lost one early in the pregnancy. And during my whole pregnancy, my in-laws kept pressuring me to get my tubes tied because they didn't think I should have any more kids. Not for the medical reasons I chose to have it done. My in-laws have never liked me or approved of me because they don't like the family I come from. I calmly tell my toddler to go play with brother because I need to talk to his grandma. After he leaves, I look at her and tell her she needs to leave. She gets mad and tells me I have no right to tell her to leave because it's her son's house, not mine, and I am a stay-at-home mom with no income or credit. So only my husband's name is on the loan of the house. I am really pissed now and say, "You are being a vindictive witch." And it's funny that you tell me about how we don't need more children when you only closed up your baby factory after you've had 5 kids because you cared more about having a daughter than being a good mother. Well, she left and then later told my husband a bunch of lies, and he came home and asked me about it. I told him what happened and he believes me because he knows how his mother is. But now she is saying I am horrible and she refuses to come back till I apologize. I said then she just won't come back. But now my husband's whole family is mad at both of us for him taking my side. So am I the a-hole? Edit. This is kind of important. My mother-in-law blames me for my youngest son having autism and ADHD, even though my husband has ADHD, and told my husband that if he had just chosen to breed with good stock and picked someone she approved of, his son wouldn't be messed up. Not stay home. She refuses to come back until you apologize? Congratulations, you just won the game. So she says something rude, you take the high road and ask her to leave. So she says more rude things, to which you respond in kind, deservedly so. And now she's making you out to be the bad guy. I'm so tired of these bullies with martyrdom complexes. If you can't take it, don't dish it out. Not stay home and hope that she holds true to her ultimatum of not coming back until you apologize. Not stay home. How delightful that she is punishing you by withholding her company. Excellent outcome. And move in the meantime and leave no forwarding address. I wish it was that easy to move, but it took us over a year just to find this house. Regarding your Reddit, next time she blames you for your youngest, just point out that autism comes from the father's side. Hey everyone, here's an update as of 5 minutes ago because my husband called her this morning after I talked to him some more. He told her until she apologizes to me, she is not welcome in our house or around our kids. She has been removed from the emergency contact and pickup list at both my kids' schools. And that we will not be attending any family holidays. And that we blocked her and the rest of the family in social media so that she can't get updates about the kids or see any pictures of them. Being a teen mom is hard, no discounting that. But having a teenage boy step up to help raise a child that isn't biologically his are all but non-existent. You too clearly have something very special to have withstood hardships from such young ages and still be together. From your post, your husband sounds like a grade A stand-up guy who has your back and will do anything to protect his family.